everyone. Katie and Kimberly here. We're so happy to be making this video for you. In the preparation of our Yelapa Experience Retreat that is coming in December, we've been asked a lot of questions, which is normal, and people are curious. And so we thought we'd make this video for you. This is question and answer Q&A part 1. And we've broken it into 2 episodes, and we'll be doing Q&A part 2 very soon. So be looking for that. So here we go.
So one of the questions that is being asked is about COVID tests.
Yes.
So I'm curious, do you need a COVID test to get into Mexico or just one to get into the United States?
Okay, good question. So the only COVID test that is required is to come back into the United States. And the way that that happens is at the airport in Puerto Vallarta, there are COVID rapid tests that are available. It's $25. It takes 20 minutes to get the results, and they send the result on your email address. So we just make sure we're there about maybe 30 minutes earlier or 40.
Or whatever you feel comfortable with.
Yeah. And have the COVID test done, and then you get the results, and you're right there at the airport.
And so you don't need a COVID test to get into Mexico?
No.
Okay.
You do not. One of the questions that we have been asked is, how do I get from the airport to the water taxi? Will there be someone there to meet me, greet me, guide me? And how much does the taxi cost from the airport to the water taxi? And also, how much does the water taxi cost?
Sure. Okay. So when you arrive and you go through the airport after you've exchanged your money, if you do it there, you come right out the front door and there's taxis lined up. And they all basically cost the same on the outside. So just make sure when you're going through the airport that you don't have somebody stop you inside the airport, because that's another excursion or another taxi company. So just go out the front, get in a taxi, and you ask them to have you be taken to Los Muertos pier, and that's where you catch the water taxi to Yelapa. But the thing is that depending on what day you come in, we will try and have somebody there at the airport to guide you to get into the taxi and to get to the water taxi area, because sometimes it can be a little confusing. Yeah. So that depends on the day you come in. And then when you get to the pier, you're going to, you can either purchase tickets from somebody that's selling them right there, a round trip, or you just simply get on the boat, and there are different times, and we'll give you a schedule of what times the boats go. And you get on the water taxi, and it's about 45 to 50-minute water taxi ride across the ocean. It's beautiful. You'll see whales, possibly. And then when you get to Yelapa, that's when you would pay the driver, and it's $10 basically one way, and you can just pay individually or you can buy a round trip. Yeah, so $10. And in terms of just a taxi ride from the airport, I think it was around $15, but mind you, this is in pesos, so that I'm talking about approximately US money's $10 one way. And then also, when you're coming back from Yelapa, it's the same thing. You get on the water taxi. You don't have to have a reservation. You just get on with your baggage. They'll handle your baggage, put it in the front, and you go back to the pier, and then you take the taxi right back to the airport. So Kimberly, can you tell us a little bit about how much money possibly they should bring with them for the retreat, and also a little bit about the money exchange?
Yes, of course. Well, I would say outside of the retreat, the housing, and the food that's going to be provided, I would say between 200 and 500 American dollars, possibly, maybe more if you like, per person, depending on you and what you want to do. Extra monies would be for excursions, like day trips, and for body work, massage, different services that we'll be offering and that are in Yelapa. If you want to have a dinner out other than what we're providing at the retreat center, if you want to have drinks out,
So there's
yeah.
free time.
There's
is you're
free
saying.
time.
Okay.
Every
Okay.
every day you're going to be given free time at the retreat. As far as the exchange, I would say there's many different options. You can either do it at your bank in the area you live. You could do it at the airport that you're flying out of. You can also exchange money in the airport in Puerto Vallarta. So,
Okay.
yeah.
But also, what about ATMs and banks in Yelapa?
Yes. Okay. So, good question. There are no banks and no ATMs in Yelapa. So, you've got to do everything either before you come and get on the plane to come to Puerto Vallarta or do it in Puerto Vallarta. And there's plenty of spaces in Puerto Vallarta that you can do that.
So and my understanding is that in Yelapa, you don't use a credit card because there are no ATMs. So you would have the money converted into pesos. So that's what you would have on you.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay.
I learned that the hard way.
Okay.
So
All right.
you don't want to make that mistake.
Okay.
So, Katie, one of the frequently asked questions that we've been getting is what kind of shoes, what kind of clothing should I bring? Does it rain there? Does it get cold at this time of year there? What kind of clothing do I need for the different classes? And I know there's on the schedule, there's a goodbye dinner. I know there's live music, maybe once or twice during that week that we're going to be there. So can you give us a little, just a little overview of
Sure.
clothing and shoes?
Yes, pack light because you really don't need a lot of clothes because you are going to be wearing loose fitting clothing to do yoga and meditation, your bathing suit for the swimming pool. But the most important thing here is shoes because Yelapa is a peninsula and it's built on hills. There are steps. There is cobblestones, there's a lot of uneven ground. And so you want to make sure that you have really good shoes, walking shoes, the type that you would wear for hiking, or some people wear sandals for hiking, but just make sure that they're comfortable shoes. You're not going to be wearing high heels in Yelapa. And yes, so shoes, and then during the day, it gets in December, usually about 70 to 75, like Santa Monica, California. And in the evening, it drops down, it gets cooler. So you want to bring a light jacket, probably bring a jacket with a hood in case it does rain, but it's not, the rainy season is over by December. So just bring a few layers so that you're comfortable. One pair of jeans, if you're planning on doing equine therapy, you're not going to be getting on the horse, but we're going to be in an arena, so you want to, dress like a cowboy a little bit and wear closed-toed shoes because you're going to be around horses. But yeah, and in terms of the nights out, that's up to you. If you want to wear a fun dress or something, it's fine, but people dance there barefoot.
Yeah. Yes.
So it's fine. It's very casual. And if you're planning on doing other excursions before or after the retreat, before you get to Yelapa, then that's up to you if you want to bring extra clothing that's more formal, but you don't need formal clothing.
My experience with this, just so you guys know, when I went to Yelapa, I packed a huge suitcase of clothing that I did not need And I ended up wearing maybe 3 of the same dresses, 3 of the same yoga clothes, my bathing suit, my sandals, and a jacket. So really, Katie, you're right when you say pack light.
Yeah, pack light, because women always bring too many shoes. But yes, bring a jacket or a sweater for the evening, because it gets cool at night, just like it does anywhere in December. But it is tropical. Some people might have questions about the rooms,
Yes.
the accommodations, what's included in the room.
Okay. So the rooms, first of all, there is no bad room. Every single space
Nice.
in Pura Vida Echo Retreat Wellness Center is amazing, as you can see on our YouTube and website. But in the rooms, towels, linens, that is all provided for, so you don't have to pack extra for that. There are mosquito nets for each bed. So for you to sleep under, if you choose or not so choose, it's actually kind of cool to sleep under a mosquito
It's like a
net.
canopy.
Yeah. And let's see. Oh, every room has their own bathroom with running warm water. So that's a plus in Yelapa. That's a really nice amenity. It does get really dark because there's no street lights in Yelapa, so you want to make sure that you have your maybe slippers or flip-flops close to your bed and a flashlight close to your bed, so if you need to get up in the middle of the night. Also, another thing, there is internet provided in your room space, which if you need that, it's there for you.
Great.
Yeah.
So when you said you need a flashlight, is there electricity?
There's electricity. There is electricity, but like if we're coming back at night on the trail from the village.
Oh, sure. It's good to have a flashlight.
And actually, let's talk a little bit about that. You can order a headlamp.
Oh, yeah. That's a great thing to wear on the trail at night. It is.
You can order that online. It's like $10 or something, or
Right.
just a little mini flashlight. You just want to make sure that in the middle of the night, if you have to get up
Sure.
in your room, that you can,
Yeah.
feel safe.
Thank you guys for watching Questions and Answers Part 1. And we are going to be coming back next week with Q&A Part 2. And we are so excited to be doing this, and join us.